What if I told you that the person you're most attracted to is probably the worst choice for your heart? That the butterflies you feel aren't actually a sign of deep connection, but a warning signal from your nervous system? And that the person who feels too easy, the one who doesn't make you anxious, who doesn't leave you guessing, might actually be exactly what your soul has been desperately craving? There's fascinating science behind why we're wired to choose chaos over peace. And once you understand how your brain has been sabotaging your love life, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. This isn't just theory. This is the key to finally breaking free from the exhausting cycle of dating the same type of person over and over again. Hi, I'm Stephanie Flygare. I'm an energy reset and divorce recovery coach who helps ambitious divorced women recognize their worth and attract partnerships that actually honor it. If you've been wondering why you keep ending in the same exhausting patterns despite being smart enough to see the red flags, this conversation is going to be a game changer. Now, whether you've been actively dating right now or you've stepped back to heal and reset, this message is for you. Because what we're exploring today applies whether you're in the arena or wisely taking time on the sidelines to recalibrate your inner compass. There's this powerful moment in the movie The Female Brain. And whether you've seen it or not, you'll relate to this. Where this is where a brilliant neuroscientist believes she's cracked the code on dating. She studied brain chemistry, understands dopamine and attachment theory, and she's convinced that knowledge alone will protect her from romantic chaos. She thinks she can outsmart her own emotions. But then someone charming and unpredictable enters her life. And despite all her scientific expertise, she finds herself completely swept away. Her logical mind knows better, but her brain starts firing in ways she can't control. Sound familiar? And that scene resonates so deeply because it mirrors what so many of us experience. We can intellectually understand attraction or may be on our road to knowing more about it. We read all the books, maybe even do some therapy, but we still find ourselves mistaking emotional turbulence for genuine connection. Our bodies betray our minds, and we end up right back in patterns that drain us. Today, we're diving into four revelations that will change everything. The first one up is when your nervous system orders the wrong item, and why your body chemistry gets excited by all the wrong people, and how to retrain your internal compass. Second, it's being needed versus being seen. And this is the crucial difference between someone who wants to use you and someone who wants to know you. The third is the questions that shift everything, the exact questions that move you from dating your wound to dating your worth. And finally, the plot twist of healing. Why getting emotionally healthier might temporarily make you less attracted to people. and why this is actually the best news you'll hear today. But before we dive deep, I want you to think about the last person who gave you butterflies, the one who had you checking your phone and had you wanting to hear from them and excited, and that you'll be analyzing their every word, their every text, feeling like you were on an emotional roller coaster. This may have been the same person from your past marriage, from previous relationships. Now, who is that person? Who comes to your mind? Now, do you got them in your mind? Perfect. Because what I'm about to reveal will completely reframe what you thought was happening in this connection. Now, when your nervous system orders the wrong item on the menu, picture this while this is going on. You walk into a restaurant called Love and Connection, and your nervous system is your waiter. But here's the thing, this waiter has been working the graveyard shift at a chaotic diner for years. So when they hand you the menu, they immediately point you to the drama special, extra chaos, a side of anxiety, and a heaping portion of will they or won't they? Trust me, your nervous system whispers urgently, tapping the menu. This is what you always order. You love this dish. It makes you feel so alive, right? Meanwhile, sitting right there in plain sight is the steady partnership plate, slow cooked respect with roasted reliability, garnished with genuine care, and served with consistent presence. But your nervous system actually recoils. That looks boring. Where's the excitement? Where's the spark? Where's the fireworks? What is this? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to give me? Where's the challenge? Where's the running and chasing the cat and the mouse? The mystery? Where's that proof that you're worth the fight? This happens because our nervous systems are brilliant at keeping us alive, but they define safe as familiar, even when familiar is slowly killing our spirit. Your body can become so accustomed to emotional chaos that genuine stability actually feels threatening. It's like your system thinks, wait, if this is easy, something must be wrong. Where's the struggle? Where's the struggle I need to overcome to earn this love? But there's something deeper happening here that attachment research helps us understand. When love feels uncertain, your brain doesn't just bond with the person, it actually forms in an attachment to the unpredictability itself. It's similar to what makes gambling so addictive. Your brain doesn't just reward you when you win, it becomes chemically dependent on the anticipation of maybe winning. Your nervous system doesn't just light up when that inconsistent person finally texts you back. It gets high from the waiting, the wondering, the hoping. That anticipation floods your system with dopamine, creating a chemical cocktail that feels intoxicating. But here's the truth bomb. That's not love. That's your reward system being hijacked. You know you're caught in this cycle when you're checking your phone obsessively. You're feeling more alive during the chase than during the actual connection. Getting an actual rush when they finally respond after hours of radio silence. Your body becomes addicted to the cycle of anxiety and relief. And you start mistaking that addiction for deep connection. Now, here's where things get dangerous. Once your body learns this pattern, it starts seeking it out. You begin unconsciously gravitating toward people who will recreate this familiar emotional roller coaster. And this is exactly how smart, successful, ambitious women end up trapped in what I like to call the manipulation loop. Now, when you depend on someone else's attention to feel valuable, you unknowingly enter what I call the manipulation loop. Sometimes it's deliberate, but often it's unconscious. It happens because your sense of worth has gradually become entangled with how someone else treats you. And here's how exactly this shows up. Now, one of these examples is breadcrumbing. They give you just enough attention to keep you from walking away, but never enough to feel secure. The next is hot and cold. One day they're present and affectionate. The next they're distant or dismissive. Next is moving goalposts. Just when you think you understand what they want, the rules change. You're supportive. Now you're too available. You give space. Now you're pulling away. It's trying to hit a target that moves every time you get close. Next is emotional withholding. When you express needs or set boundaries, their warmth evaporates. They withdraw after intimacy. Now, each pattern exploits the same vulnerability. Your deep need for secure connection is being used as leverage against your own well being. The more you try to prove your worth to someone inconsistent, the more disconnected you become from your own inherent worth. Now that you understand a little of why your attention compass or attraction compass might be malfunctioning, let's address something even more crucial. It's not just about who catches your eye, it's about learning to distinguish between someone who sees your value and someone who simply sees what you provide them. The next distinction is going to be a relation or is going to be a relationship game changer, which is being needed versus being seen. Now, whether you're actively dating or taking time to pause, I need you to really absorb this because most of us has been have have been conditioned to confuse these two experiences our entire lives. When someone needs you, you become a function in their life. You're the therapist, the confidence booster, the emotional support system. You're or it's convenient for them. They're focused on what you can provide, your emotional labor, your support, your energy, your body, your attention to fill whatever void exists inside them. When someone truly sees you, they're fascinated by who you are. They want to understand your thoughts, your dreams, your quirks, your boundaries. They're genuinely curious about your inner world, not just how you can enhance their outer world. Now, let me give you a few concrete examples because recognition of this is the foundation of transformation. Now, being needed looks like they download all their problems, but rarely ask about yours with genuine curiosity. They seek you out when they're lonely, bored, or need something, but vanish when their life gets exciting. They can tell how, or they can tell you how you can make them feel, but struggle to articulate what they actually love about who you are. They're attracted to your potential to change or grow, but can't appreciate who you are in this moment. You feel more like their unpaid therapist than their cherished partner. They expect you to be available for them, but don't prioritize being available for you. Now, being seen looks like, now here are all the ones we want to look out for, right? Is they remember details about your life that have nothing to do with them. They're genuinely curious about your opinions, even when they disagree. They notice your moods and ask thoughtful questions instead of trying to immediately fix or dismiss them. They want to understand your boundaries, not negotiate them. They're interested in your world and want to be a part of it, not just have you fit into theirs. They love you for exactly who you are today, not who you could become with their guidance. Now, here's what trips us up so many people. Being needed can feel incredible, especially if you learned early that your value came from how useful you were to others. Being needed can feel like purpose, like being someone special, like being irreplaceable. But here's what I need you to understand: being needed will drain you, being seen will energize you. And there's a difference. When someone needs you, they'll find you will find yourself walking on eggshells, constantly managing their emotions, shrinking parts of yourself to keep them comfortable. Conversations leave you feeling depleted, like something essential has been extracted from you. When someone truly sees you, you'll find yourself expanding, becoming more authentically yourself, feeling safe to take up space. Conversations leave you feeling more alive, like something beautiful has been added to your life. And here's the revelation that changes everything: people who need you will make you feel like you have to people who need you will make you feel like you have to earn their love through through your service. People who see you will make you feel like your presence alone is a gift they're genuinely grateful to receive. Now, I know some of you are thinking, okay, Stephanie, this makes perfect sense, but how do I actually implement this shift? How do I change these deeply ingrained patterns? And that's exactly what we're exploring next. The specific questions that will completely transform how you show up in relationships starting today. Now, I'm about to give you the exact questions that will shift your entire relationship dynamic once implemented. These aren't just questions about other people. There are questions that reconnect you with your own inherent worth, whether you're actively dating or taking a pause. But first, let me share what questions you need to stop asking, because these are the ones that are keeping you trapped. Now, stop asking, how can I make them want me? And start asking, do I actually want them? And chances are you're like, not really. I mean, I guess. And this simple shift moves you from scarcity and desperation to choice and discernment. It reminds you that you're not auditioning for their approval. You're evaluating whether they meet your standards. Now, you're going to stop asking, how can I prove my value? And start asking, are they demonstrating theirs? Now, listen carefully. Your value isn't up for debate. It's not something that needs proving or earning. It's established. It's woven into the fabric of your being. The question is whether they're showing up in a way that honors that truth. Now, stop asking, what did they mean by that text? And start asking, how do I feel when I'm with them? Stop trying to decode mixed signals and start tuning into your own experience. Mixed signals are a signal. They're telling you this person isn't ready for the clarity that real connection requires. Stop asking, how can I fix this relationship? And start asking, is this relationship aligned with my highest good? You are not a rehabilitation center for emotionally unavailable people. Your job isn't to fix anyone. It's to recognize what's working and what isn't, then make choices that honor your well being. And next, I want to share some game changing questions to keep close and to keep in the back of your mind. You want to ask, does this person add peace to my life or chaos? And real love should make your life more peaceful, not turbulent, or cause confusion, anxiety, worries, depletion. And you ask, do I feel more like myself with them or less? The right person will help you feel like the most authentic version of yourself. You ask, am I performing or am I simply being? If you're constantly performing to maintain someone's interests, that's exhaustion, not love. And do they celebrate my boundaries or challenge them? Someone who truly loves you will respect your boundaries, not see them as obstacles to overcome. They're not up for negotiation. And do I feel chosen or do I feel like I'm competing? You should feel like their obvious choice, not like you're in a constant competition for their attention. For those that are taking a break from dating, these questions are equally powerful for reflection. What patterns have I been accepting that don't serve me? What would change if I truly believed I deserve consistent, secure love? And here's the question that will transform absolutely everything. If I truly believed I was worthy of extraordinary love, how would I show up differently in this situation? That question is pure magic because it bypasses all the mental gymnastics and connects you directly to your inherent worth. When you start asking this regularly, you start making different choices. You start dating differently. You start living differently. Now, I would like to share something that nobody likes or nobody talks about, but everybody needs to hear. Now, as you start implementing these questions and shifting these patterns, something unexpected might happen. And this could actually scare you if you're not prepared for it. But what I'm about to share is actually the best news you'll hear all day. Now, which is when you are, I'm getting all tongue tied here. When you are getting emotionally healthier, it might temporarily make you less attracted to other people. And I need you to understand that this isn't a malfunction in your system, it's an upgrade. Now, whether you're actively dating or taking a conscious pause, when you start doing this inner work, when you begin dating your worth instead of your when you begin dating your worth instead of your wound, you might notice that people who used to electrify and make you feel amazing and have that spark and that chemistry, they start feeling flat. The drama that used to feel like passion now feels exhausting. The chase that used to feel exciting and that mystery now feels like a complete waste of your precious energy. If you've already stepped back from dating, this might be exactly what you're experiencing. You might be wondering if you've become too selective, if you've lost your ability to connect, if you should just settle for what's available. And this can feel terrifying. You might think, did I break my ability to feel attraction? Have I become impossible to please? Now, maybe I should lower my standards and go back to what I know. Now, let me tell you what's actually happening. Your taste is evolving. Now, think of it like this. If you've been eating fast food your entire life, the first time someone serves you beautifully prepared or a beautifully prepared, nourishing meal, it might actually taste bland or not so good compared to all those artificial flavors and chemicals your palate expects. But as your buds detox and adjust, you start appreciating subtle, real flavors. You start craving nourishment instead of stimulation. The exact same transformation happens when you're with your emotional palate. When you've been addicted to the highs and lows of inconsistent love, healthy love might feel boring initially. But as you heal, you start appreciating the subtle beauty of consistency, the richness of being truly known, the deep satisfaction of being chosen, not for your potential, but for your presence. During this transition, you might feel like you're in relationship limbo. The toxic patterns no longer appeal to you, but healthy patterns don't yet feel familiar. This is where so many people panic and regress. This limbo is a sacred space. This is your nervous system learning a new language. This is your heart learning to recognize real love instead of familiar chaos. And you might also notice that as you heal, you become less tolerant of behaviors you used to accept without question. This isn't you becoming difficult or high maintenance. This is you developing boundaries and standards that actually serve your well being. Your attraction compass is recalibrating. Where you used to be magnetically drawn to the unavailable, the inconsistent, the emotionally challenging, you're now starting to notice and appreciate the available, the consistent, the emotionally mature. This recalibration doesn't happen overnight, and that's perfectly okay. Be incredibly patient and compassionate with yourself during this process. Some days you might still miss the chaos and the mystery, still feel tempted by the familiar struggle. And that's completely normal. That's just your nervous system remembering its old home. For those of you that are taking a break from dating, your pause isn't giving up, it's wisdom. Use this time to let your nervous system truly reset. Use this time to reconnect with your own worth, to remember what genuine connection feels like within yourself before seeking it with another. But here's what I need you to remember: you don't have to live in that old emotional home anymore. You've outgrown it. You deserve so much more than what you used to think was love. Your worth isn't a question mark. It's not something to be proven, earned, or justified. It simply is. So here's my challenge for you this week. Whether you're actively dating or taking a conscious pause, start paying attention to what you're attracted to and why. Notice when you're drawn to someone's potential versus their actual presence. Notice when you feel like you have to prove your worth versus when you feel like your worth is already recognized and celebrated. If you're actively dating, use these questions this week when you're evaluating your connections. If you're taking a break from dating, use them to reflect on past patterns and prepare for when you're ready to re enter from a place of worth instead of a wound. If this helped you see your dating patterns in a new light, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who needs to hear this message. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because I share new content every other week that will help you transform your relationships and your life. Drop a comment and let me know what was your biggest takeaway from this video? Which section resonated the most deeply with you? I read every single comment, and your shares help me create even better content for you. If you're ready to dive deeper into this work and you're serious about transforming your dating life, I want you to comment the word align below or email or DM me with the information that is in the description box. And I'll reach out to you personally about how we can work together. And if you want to join my private Facebook community where we dive even deeper into these topics, I'll put that link in the description below as well. It's a safe space for women who are ready to break these patterns and start dating their worth instead of their wounds. Remember, you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're looking for someone who's complete enough to complement the incredible person you already are. Until next time, keep choosing your worth.